Welcome back, everybody, to the Amazon European Masters. So initialized, we're still joined by Orcs, of course. We've got ourselves a very special guest after that win there from X7. Kasing will be joining us, of course, after another win here for the NLC first seed. Good to have you. Question one, were you expecting them to leave the Zeri open, mate?
After running some scenarios, we did not expect them to leave Zeri open because they probably thought that we don't play Zeri just because we haven't really shown much priority or any Zeri games at all, or Vaynedeta that we haven't been playing. So it was a nice bluff by them, but they called it, and yeah, we do in fact play Zeri, yes.
Turns out.
I feel like we've seen quite a variation in terms of drafts. Like, I feel like a lot of teams have identified the style and stuck to it. But I feel like for you guys so far in the EU Masters, you've been playing, pretty varied options when we see you come into games. Do you feel like you guys trying to flex your wings a bit there? Or do you just feel like you're a very diverse team in your strategies?
The thing is, I feel like in X7 anyway, I think one of the pros about us is that we're able to play not just one style that, play through bot, play through top, play through mid only. It's more like we play wherever the draft actually favors in terms of like whether it's a top-centric game or bot-centric game, whichever one it is. And I think this is what, I guess, makes this team way better than most of the teams that I've played in the past. Obviously, technically, Nata's the rookie of this team, right? But he's still pulling up his weight, actually. He's actually doing really, really well, considering, his past split, he was actually, relegated in LVP. That's obviously not the best thing to have, but I know that Nata has always been a player I've seen, work really, really well, like based on the way I've seen him play. So I'm pretty happy for him.
Excellent stuff. And obviously, with that win, I believe you locked yourselves into the knockout stage. Great news. LDLC yesterday went undefeated in groups. How do you think you can match that record? How far do you think you guys are going? And with what kind of record? Can you get all the way to the finals undefeated?
I mean, in the past, I've wished, I will get higher than top 8. So I'm just going to keep that as my goal because I've always wanted to reach top 8 and I've lost to either the eventual winners or, it's just depression when I think about it. But obviously I have higher hopes for this team, but I'm just going to say top 8 is my goal, or top 4, sorry, is my goal. Okay. And anything above that, I'm really happy with.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got one last one for you. This one comes from the NLC guys, because of course we ask pretty regularly in the post show at the NLC for a cat sing. Can we get one here for the international audience? Just give us the give it. Go on, you want to. It's been a pleasure.
So obsessed. Oh my lord! Look, if we win EU Masters, you guys will see a meow from me. Okay, that is all I'm gonna say.
Excellent. You heard it. Clip it. Send it out on Twitter. Send it out on Reddit. You've heard it here. Thank you so much for joining us. I managed to get that one out of that. I'm very happy with that. Sorry for cutting you off, Orcs, but that was very necessary.
I think it's worth it.
Wish you the best of luck with the rest of your games today and the rest of the tournament as well. Thank you, Kasing.
No worries. Thank you guys for the interview.
That's a very necessary statement to get out of Kasing. So I'm glad we've got that.
You've made him commit, right? And now his goal, is top 4. I feel like everyone else's goal is for them to win so we get rewarded.
It needs to happen. I'm sorry, LFL fans. You need to change your tunes. The Prime League fans, just support Kasing right now because there is something glorious on the line right now for all of us back at home. But before that, we have, of course, got to go through the highlights of that previous game where X7 looked pretty damn good, pulling off a comp that was supposed to spike a little later and just managed to sweep them all away, or perhaps shuffle might have been. The early game, this level 1 got a little bit spicy.
Yeah, I feel like, GL came with a strategy. They tried to enact on that strategy, but X7 just matched them. And I feel like the confidence to match them, especially for the strength of the mid-jungle, right? Traditionally, you don't think of Azir as someone who's going to have too much presence in the early game, but he has that prio, and Temp just piloted him so flawlessly.
It really did. And of course, after this level 1 where that interrupt from Jaeger blind over the wall was just a really good bit of game sense, and they make that play a lot more even. And this bot side dive, when it goes even, it's not what you need to see.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? You have the Rise Jarvan. It sets up for easy dives in the side lane, but Tempt again, TPing in to deliver, picking up a double kill here. And as soon as that happened, it really felt like the game just sort of spiraled out of control. More skirmishes coming forwards where it really was X7 on point. And I gotta be honest, I feel like a lot of this was just like a Tempt highlight reel.
Some of the shuffles, the Emperor's Divides in this game were really, really exquisite. And this bot side 2v2 kill from behind in the gold was something else again.
100%. And I feel like, you know, as Kasing said, GL left the Zeri open in the hopes that they didn't play it. I feel like if you leave the Zeri open and it's picked, you have to have a strategy going into it. The Lucian Nami just didn't work, right? There wasn't enough pressure. They weren't able to get the Ryze Jarvan down on the bot side. You can see even this instance here where they try and chase it down after the fact, but it just wasn't working. And they got to the point where even this fight, which wasn't the cleanest, right? We see Nata die quite early, still ends up going heavily in favor because of the gold advantage towards X7.
Every flash blown in that engage, including the ghost from Sacre to top it all off, and still they came out on top, and you can see it there. That is a lot of Azir damage.
Yeah, no kidding, right? The discrepancy between mids, this is something we highlighted in a previous matchup, was Temp just dominated the mid lane, and we see a repeat, right? Flat out repeat, where it is mid difference that really changed things up in X7's favor in the early game.
It is not every day in a professional match you see 1k DPM plus for any player. Incredible stuff there from Temp to really put on a clinic on how you play Azir. An aggressive mindset,
especially in such a short game, right?
Yeah,
at least,
absolutely.
Like if Azir gets a bit deeper into the game, you're like, oh, obviously he's going to be able to start ramping up the damage. But 25 minutes and just doing so much, so active, kind of crazy, kind of worrying for any other team in the tournament, honestly.
Absolutely, they are definitely becoming one of the favorites right now. It feels alongside a couple of those other teams out there. I think LDLC, of course, put their name in the hat alongside potentially someone like the Unicorns. But we've still got, of course, another game to go before we sign off for another duo, and that is, of course, GamerLegion up against Team Phantasma. And both of these teams coming off a pretty stinging loss, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, I mean, Team Phantasma out now. There's nothing they can do to change that, so they're just playing upset. But I will say, GamerLegion are the third place team in the group. If they're going to get a win somewhere, this is probably the place where you'd look to get it. So I expect them to come out all guns blazing and try and secure this one, at least get a point on the board, as we saw from Atlanta yesterday. The side of GamerLegion, hope is not gone, but it is very narrow at this point. They have to beat Team Phantasma, and then they have to beat K-Corp, and also hope that K-Corp lose to X7. That is the only way they make it into a tiebreaker for second and can make it out of group. So not only do they need to win this game, but they need to be hitting their form and continuing that for the rest of the day.
And that's not necessarily unreasonable with the form that we've seen X7 on at the minute. You can definitely see that be an option here, but it has to start here. It has to start with this game, and especially after a tough loss, they need to reset now, and that's not always the easiest, but I guess with your mind, what do you need to see out of GamerLegion? What do you need to see out of Team Phantasma in order to reset? What do you do after coming off such tough losses?
So I feel like in the last matchup we saw between these two, Team Phantasma didn't have the best bot matchup for the team, and they kind of just collapsed around there. I feel like that's been the recurrent issue where we saw, you know, against the likes of X7, top lane was an issue. Here, bot lane was an issue. I feel like they need to plug the holes and come in with a draft where lanes are even or advantageous for them. For GL, you know, I feel like they should be obviously favored in this matchup. I don't think there's much they need to do to secure it, but I feel like the previous game we just saw them in, they didn't have clear win cons that they were able to execute on, right? They weren't able to find advantages in the bot lane. The Lucian Nami wasn't enough for the Zeri Yuumi, so a bit more of a straightforward composition should work well for them.
All right, well, we've got ourselves some graphics coming up here to look over what's going on. Of course, GamerLegion, the #1 seed from the Prime League right now, stuck at a not particularly impressive 1-3. They need to pick it up here if they still want to get out of this group, and it's an all-star lineup. It just hasn't clicked at this tournament thus far.
Especially with how well they performed in the Prime League, right? And I feel like, you know, particularly Danko and Visdom, I think, are a really strong jungle support duo.
Incredible duo.
We just haven't seen it come online, so hopefully in this game, there should be a way for them to get the confidence back, because I expect them to come out favored. The Team Phantasma going up against them, you know, I feel like they're just chasing that one win. If they can get that one, it'll mean a lot to the side.
And it's a very veteran roster that's been with this particular organization for quite a while. Most of this roster, 4 out of the 5, were here in 2021. Bako was there back when they joined the GLL in 2020. Vaynedeta is the only new addition, and they really want to prove themselves more than they did last summer, where they kind of didn't manage to qualify to the group stage despite a pretty okay play in group stage. And this is what they need to be able to play out a little bit better. And I think for my money, maybe the place they could try and look to make something happen would be the mid lane, because Peppe, at least on the Ahri, was around to try and punish a little bit in that last game, and ESCIK's not had the best tournament thus far.
Yeah, that's a potential avenue, right? And we saw, I mean, it's Tempt, right? Tempt has really dominated when he's played against GL in the mid lane.
Yeah.
definitely takes at that level of mid lane, it's a given that you're going to be able to find an advantages, but it has been a bit of a weak point for the side of GL, at least in that matchup. If Team Phantasma can exploit that and give themselves a strong mid, I feel like that's a big aspect of the meta right now. Is we see in the side lanes a lot more scaling options. It tends to be the mid lane where you have that agency, right? We're seeing all these picks that look to be able to have control of the wave, or be able to roam, or able to impact AD skirmishes, and then spread that pressure along into the side lanes has been, especially in regions like the LPL, has been how the meta is defined. So if you take control of mid, it means you can bleed out to the rest of the map, and that could be a solid game plan for them.
And I was given some notes from some of the analysts again around the GLL about most of the players here, and Peppe had a few really impressive ones. Like, this is the guy who's got 17 solo kills thus far, even when he's been playing Victor. You know, he was arguably their best performing member last EU Masters play-ins, where he was putting up some really good DPM numbers, putting some really good CS numbers. Like, this is a guy who's performed internationally before, has performed really well for this team, who's had a massive glow up from before he joined this team, where he was kind of stuck forever at 5th, 6th in playoffs as kind of his max ever results, and then manages to improve to this level. What a story it would be then to take a win off the Prime League first seed, to try and take some of that growth, take some of the international performances he had before, and bring it to bear in the game like this.
I think it's the crazy thing as well is that it is the Prime League first seed, right? I feel like I kind of, today, talking about them, I kind of forget that the fact that they're in their group right now and facing being knocked out the tournament if they don't come out with a win here. This is a team from a region which has won EU Masters before, has so much prestige. They are the first seed, and yet haven't really shown it yet. And you can see with the scoreline 1-3, they need a lot of work to bring that up to the 3-3 to keep hope alive. They'll open up with a Camille ban away from Bako. We talked a bit earlier about how he can be a massive carry for this lineup.
Indeed it is. Phantasma, though, will get rid of that misfortune. Jinjo has got that one time and never again. You saw what he did the first time out against Phantasma. It was a monster game from the AD carry of GamerLegion. And you even saw in that last game, he was definitely trying on the Lucian, but couldn't quite make it stick when it mattered. I'm going to see a few more of those bans continue to go away. Karma away, Trundle on the other side as well. Definitely more pocket bans here rather than straight meta bans as it stands.
Yeah, I feel like they're heavily targeting picks where GL would look to be able to bully out the bot lane. These are comfort for the side of GL. I feel like the third pick, third ban probably should be Zeri. We saw a good example last game where you don't leave it open, and it will get banned out. But Ahri still available on the map, right, if GL want to take, but instead looking to prioritize Volibear in the jungle. And I feel, as you said, FP's had good games on Ahri. They could just look to secure this. They could take their choice of AD carry as well, with 3 already banned, and then leave their jungle till third pick if they want to.
Also, Volibear is possibly the most powerful early dueling jungler available right now up there with something like the Volibear. Lock that in for Dank, who's had a quiet couple games. Give him some agency, makes a lot of sense. Phantasma, though, are rapid with the lock-in of the Ahri, and then the Caitlyn. I think that might send a message on how they want to play this game.
Yeah, definitely want to have more pressure in the bot lane, which is something that lacked in their last game against GL. My concern with the Caitlyn, though, is often we see Caitlyn paired with the Lux, right? I can't even think of any times I've seen this year Caitlyn without Lux. And I feel like that means that third pick, if you have to take the Lux, you can't take your jungler. And I feel like you want to pick up your jungler to be able to match this Volibear. GL won't miss a beat. They pick the LeBlanc and the Ahri, which you're going to be pretty comfortable with. Pretty strong mid-jungle duo there. And now AD carry makes sense to me here if you want to secure that before you get the pool trimmed away even further. It looks like they might just go for the Jinx.
Again, if you can get through the lane versus the Caitlyn, we know what Jinx does in mid-game. We've been seeing it all year long. You've got LeBlanc and Volibear as a very dangerous mid-jungle duo. You get that down bot side, and you can definitely punish a Caitlyn lane if it's overextended. Time to see whether they do lock in that Lux, or whether they feel like they've got another option to pair up the Caitlyn with.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big question, right? I feel like the Lux makes sense here, because if you don't take it, it's for sure going to get banned.
It's going to get banned, yeah.
And then, once you take it, you can sort of look in a different direction. This would be very interesting if they opt to go here. So actually going for the Nami. So not sure I'm the biggest fan, right? One of the big combos with the Lux is you land a binding and then the trap follows. Nami bubble, notoriously far harder to land, so not going to have as much pressure in that regard, but still very much a lane bully bot lane. And now Team Phantasma can look to ban away supports they may have trouble with. Potentially if they want to trim out engage options, things like the Leona, the Nautilus are the big ones. They could also look for things that can match the range pressure that Team Phantasma have, but they are going to start with the Leona. But GL just ban junglers, right? Anything that can really contest the Volibear early. Maybe even the Viego makes a bit of sense.
Might make
something
some sense,
that goes well with the Ahri.
Got to think about what they decide to go towards. They've already banned out the Trundle, as you said. I think the Viego also, as you said, also a good option. Maybe something like Lee Sin as well. Just like early aggro junglers can match Jarvan. Yeah, there's a few options here. Okay, they feel there's too many picks to ban out potentially and saying, look, okay, we can't get rid of them all. Maybe we can get rid of some of Bako's more comfortable options, especially because they do have counter pick this time. So they might be able to get a decent matchup into Sacre. Should they save that 5th pick for the top laner? So at least that's their option here.
Yeah, so I feel like now Team Phantasma, they're going to ban the Nautilus. So again, banning those pressure picks that can really look to bully out the bot lane. You know, can set up a jungler, especially if you get Volibear, LeBlanc moving down. If there's a Leon or Nord, so easy to set up on something like a Nami and just find the pick. GL, we'll see if they opt to throw a single ban towards the jungler. We'll see if there's anything concerned about. Obviously, the Trundle is that big pick we've seen in the volley, so maybe they're satisfied with that. And the fact they ban Gwen, maybe they're hoping Team Phantasma take the jungler, and then they blind Ornn. That could be a potential option for them. With that Jace ban as well, definitely seems a suggestion towards that. Or maybe they're trying to bait Team Phantasma into taking the Ornn themselves in this 4th pick and denying themselves counter pick.
Exactly. There's just a couple bits of mind gaming going on here. I like you talking through those different options there. Nicely done. Of course, you even called out the Leona Nautilus bans as well ahead of time. They do go towards the Ornn, and turns out Orcs is out mind gaming the mind gaming. He knows what's going on.
Yeah, so I mean, they ban away picks that are notoriously good into Ornn.
And what do you
Phantasma like, okay, we'll take the Ornn, but then GL like, oh, did you forget about this one? And they kind of flip the script, so now they get a counter pick, and they can have a matchup that Sacre is comfortable with. So as long as they're confident they don't need Jace or Gwen to match the Ornn, this is a good gambit to go for GL. And now they get to go for the support option. I feel like the Volibear works pretty well as setup plays, but it's not like a super hard engaged champion. It's not like a Jarvan, so could lean into that direction. But with Leona Nautilus off the cards, it has limited the pool. Instead, though, could be thinking of a bit of a safety net with the Thresh, and still has that setup ability, right? If Volibear comes bot, you land the hook, you throw the lantern, and definitely something Visdom's comfortable on.
Ways to try and keep your bot laner safe, and of course Visdom is an excellent Thresh. And honestly, I really like the Gangplank pickup for here for Sacre, because it's a way of punishing the overextension potentially in bot side. You throw down a cannon barrage behind a Caitlyn Nami, and they have to run through all of that gunfire. Like, that is going to be a very unpleasant time for all involved. Does leave last pick up for Nikolex though, and he's thinking about that Jarvan that has been pretty high priority though. Your face is saying you're not particularly happy with it.
I just think, right, who are you going to ult on the enemy team? You ult LeBlanc, she dashes out. You ult Jinx, well, that's why the Thresh is there. I feel like picking Jarvan when Thresh is available, not the best plan in my opinion. I feel like his game's going to be limited a bit to that degree, but still, you know, still has that early pressure, still able to at least find some good ganks if you get the opportunity. And in the laning phase, right, if you go towards top lane, for example, Sacre won't have a way out other than flash, so there is definitely that element to it. Like Team Phantasma, it's going to be about the bot lane. I mean, for both teams, it's going to be about that bot lane, right? People talked about this Gangplank as being something we expected to see at the start of the split, when everyone was playing Caitlyn Lux. It was perma-banned, right? It was like, oh, top laners can't TP, so Gangplank can throw his ult down. He's going to be super strong. We don't really see him that much, but it makes sense here, right? This is Team Phantasma. Like, we want to dominate the 2v2 bot, and GL going, well, you forgot about our top side of the map.
Indeed it is, and they have got those options there to work with, right? They have got a win condition in the Gangplank if they can get it ahead. They've got themselves a way to potentially play around that bot side, and LeBlanc Volibear, those guys snowball. You can definitely win through that in the mid game as well.
Yeah, and I do like, though, because one of the things with the K-Corp matchup is I feel like we said top lane got destroyed game 1 between Team Phantasma and K-Corp, and then the second game, they also put Bako into a rough matchup. Whereas here, we saw game 1 against GL, Team Phantasma, their bot lane got really roughed up, and this time they go, no, we're going to change the script, right? So whether it works or not, that's going to be the question, but at least things are going to go in a different direction we'd expect, and now the onus is on GL to interrupt, because if you leave them in an isolated 2v2, I would expect the Caitlyn and Nami just be able to bully out the Jinx Thresh, especially with the nerfs that have come through to both champions over the past, like, year, right? I mean, Jinx, more recent, but Thresh, this champion's been trimmed again and again and again in so many ways.
He was super high priority towards the beginning of the split, fell off a little bit again in favor of things like the Nautilus and the Leona a little bit more, and now to see whether Visdom can pilot again, another one of those players we had so many good things to say about when we were coming into this tournament. He was right up there as one of the best roaming supports, one of the best supports out there in general, and he and Danker have been, I think, a little quiet is the word for it in the early game. They've not really been that unlocked. In this game, I think a lot of onus will be on them to try and make the plays happen around bot side, to try and shut down this Caitlyn and Nami lane. They have the tools to do it, at least.
And I feel like it's really sad as well, because I remember 2020 Summer Finals, Visdom was again in GamerLegion. They played against, I think it was a Go Rogue, and it was him against Trimby, and Trimby was the better support.
What a match.
Trimby was roaming so much, was super proactive, and that was something that at the time I felt like Visdom was weak on. Trimby went off to the LEC and has had a great career from there, right? But Visdom, I feel like, despite the fact he didn't win there, didn't go LEC, he has grown, and we've seen this split in particular in the Prime League. He has been that super proactive roaming support, the style of player that gave Trimby the advantage. So, you know, I 100% believe in this player, but time is running out for him to prove it in EU Masters and to get them through to the next stage. Because I think if this team goes to knockouts, I expect them to be able to shore up and show what they did in the Prime League. But, you know, they have to win this game, they have to win their next game, and they need X7 to beat K-Corp to have any hope.
It is put up or shut up time, to put it bluntly, and this game will be the start of a road to getting out of this group stage. It's been, well, perhaps the end of the road, shall we say. They've fallen off it a little bit right now, and they've got to climb their way back up but onto the Rift to make it happen this time around.
Seen a lot of
What
pings
are you
come out.
expecting out of the early game? I mean, there's a lot of pings. We're thinking, looking like level 1s, possibly from both sides here.
Yeah,
They are going to start roaming in. Here we go. Volibear and Thresh, definitely doable.
I love aggressive level 1s into Caitlyn lanes, because one of the things is, like, if Caitlyn has sums, she'll just harass you, and if you try and engage with your flash, you'll flash out, right? But if you get an early play, like a level 1, and you manage to burn a summoner, it can completely change the dynamic of Caitlyn and Nami trying to maintain distance. So looking for a potential invade, seeing if anyone's caught a miss. Team Phantasma are going for like a fan-out defensive start, and Vaynedeta should spot them here, so nothing really will end up happening.
Like a little chunk with the Sky Splitter, and that's about it.
By the way, can I just say, how broken is Volibear?
I was expecting a little chunk, and then it just came out. I was like, oh, that was a little more than little.
How broken is... If you unclear why Gel first picked this and why this champion is so broken, that's why.
It's quite good.
And it's like that ability is AoE, it does that much damage, and it gives them a shield. How is that, how is that legal?
It's quite good. I'm hearing slight rage from you, Orcs, and I'm aware that might be... Yes.
My mind is just blown by some of these champions that, like, some of the things I've seen on the Rift scarred me over time.
Yeah. Just get like what's that war Teemo skin with like him? There's like the one with him with the blowpipe and the
oh yeah, I forget his name. I know what you mean though.
Where
yeah.
he's got the different lines. It's very strong. It's actually, never mind that. We've got ourselves the Flay in the bot side that's actually traded out pretty strongly. Visdom sidestepping the Piltover Peacemaker. The Sanity can't quite secure the kill. Vaynedeta was chunked out on the other side, but is Ignite for heal and Ignite on the other side. And GamerLegion definitely coming out on the losing end of that trade.
Yeah, 100%. Ooh, Peacemaker doesn't quite
just
connect
about.
with Visdom, but you know, that looked like initially a good play from Visdom, right? Waiting in the brush, but the problem was Jinjo wasn't there. And even though the initial trade looked favorable, the extended trade 2 against 1 did so much damage to the Thresh. Oh, nice predict, by the way. But did so much damage to the Thresh that GL's bot lane just got chunked out. And now there's a summon advantage, as you said. The heal is not going to get checked by the Ignite. And the health advantage means they can just do what they want in the lane.
Of course, they have got junglers pathing towards that bot side, which I suspect is no surprise to anybody. Visdom at the back at level 1. Literally just after we said we need this guy to step up, he goes to the play right. He lands the double flay. He looks to go in. It just does not work at this early level.
Yeah, that's the thing is that, you know, if Jinjo was there and they did a double stack, I could see that play working. But I think part of the reason Team Phantasma face checked was because they were like, there's no way Thresh is alone here. And he was, and obviously that's the reason why you shouldn't be alone there. And now they're about to crash this wave in, harass a bit under tower. I think it is in the vicinity, but Visdom's down in levels, so it's not even like he can set up that effectively. Oh, he's looking.
Flash, Flay, gets it in, gets it death sentence afterwards as well, but now they need to get some more damage in. The Zap lands as well. Vaynedeta chunked out, but doing just fine right now on the flash down. And Vaynedeta doesn't even pop a summoner, and now Nikolex is around, and Danka not going to have that many options. I appreciate the playmaking attempts, but both of them have come out at a loss for GamerLegion. Sanity just flexing the SKT flare from back in the day. That is, of course, Wolf's Nami skin from 2015. Actually, no, 2016, I apologize. So many SKT skins.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like with a lot of teams, you see a skin and you're like, I know what year that's from. For SKT, it's like, wait, was that 2015?
15 or 16? Is that 2030? It's a 16 one. It's 61.
But, oh.
Mid lane, another charm lands as the clone comes through. It'll be an ethereal change back in trade. But SG with the Ignite down, there's going to be a flash forward to try and get something. Can't quite secure it until the final auto comes through, and Peppe secures first blood.
Really nice play. And I mean, you highlighted Peppe into ESCIK. This is where they can find the advantage. ESCIK has just struggled so far this tournament. And the thing is, we said, you know, Tempt is a big opponent to come up against. The expectation is going to struggle. But here, ESCIK's struggling against Peppe, not the start you wanted. And it's going to really slow down GL's ability to bail out their bot lane, right? We're seeing how much dominance Team Phantasma have in the bot 2v2. And without help, it's going to keep going.
Sacre and Danke are coming up towards this top side. Then Bako is in a bit of trouble, trying to flash Searing Charge away. Doesn't get out, though, as the barrel claims the life of the Forge God.
Yeah, really nice play. Get the flash as well. A good gang coming up from Danke, and much needed, because mid struggling, bot struggling, you have to make something happen somewhere.
They get something back, and that evens the gold score up. Great news there. They'll get the Sheen onto Sacre, who has been such a big part of the win conditions for GamerLegion back in their home region of the Prime League. They are at least putting up a fight in this early game, especially after the bot side and the mid side went so wrong so early.
Yeah, and I think level 6 for the Gangplank is really where things could come online, right? I think it's a critical thing. Once you have that available, you can look for dives. Volibear and Gangplank, both ultimates, really powerful at, you know, punishing this bot 2v2. But you need to get there without being at too much of a deficit, because for now, we're seeing the chess lead open a bot. We're seeing the fact that, you know, Visdom tried to burn us flash early. It didn't find the play. So now they have one less tool to make things happen. And if these lanes just keep playing out organically, I think Team Phantasma feel pretty happy with that.
They are doing just fine. Caitlyn's kept the summoners. They've tried a couple plays down there. Neither have worked. And I think you called it out right there, Orcs. If things keep playing out this way, they're going to feel just fine. Ornn has died the once, which of course is going to be a frustration for them. But if he can turn up and only died once, maybe twice, and you're going to be just fine with the Call of the Forge God and gifting items over to the Ahri with the solo kill. And Vaynedeta on this Caitlyn, which is managing to play with the lane pressure.
Yeah, 20 CS lead now. And there's going to be some minions for GL to pick up, but massive lead in the bot lane. Dragon going to be secured as well for Team Phantasma, which is fantastic. You should be securing it when your bot lane's this far ahead. But it also sets up a Herald, right? There's now... Oh, Danke
gets Charm, takes a big chunk, of course, does have Flash, doesn't need to burn it quite yet. Thundering Smash will allow him to run away on all fours and get his way out. Turns out in the bear, if you find a bear in the woods, it's going to run away from you sometimes.
Yeah,
not sure where the advice is in that one.
Especially if you do like 60% of its health as damage, I would run away too, so...
Yeah, that's right. That's not necessarily very nice, is it? So Visdom takes a hefty chunk from a 50 caliber net and a Piltover the Peacemaker. Actually, I say it's a 50 caliber net. I keep saying 50 caliber just because I used to play Call of Duty 4 and it was a 50 caliber, like the Barrett 50 cal or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't think it actually is 50 caliber. I think it's a larger caliber net. I just can't remember what the caliber is, so I call it that.
I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure on the specifications of Caitlyn's equipment, so I'm no help with you.
I mean, like, it's got to be quite a big... Like, it's a lot of net to fit into a very narrow barrel.
Yeah, that's true. It kind of raised a lot of questions about... I mean, if you're able to load a gun of that caliber... Oh!
Never mind that. We shouldn't have been talking about things like that, as they do like the hook, but they pull them over the flame chompers. It wasn't properly spaced. Now Visdom is in a lot of danger. Does have Flash, hasn't burned it. Nikolex misses the flag and drag, though. And now the turn is coming through as Jinx is excited. Jinjo trying to run away, flashing out. Final autos coming through. It will be a 1-for-1, all things said and done.
Yeah, a bit of an overstep from Nikolex, honestly, and sitting on just that pickaxe. It's not like he has enough tankiness to survive that much damage. Oh, Bako.
Gonna try and get this one in. Flash out from Sacre keeps him out. And now they're going to still charge him. Mistimes the pillar. That's problematic. And now Dank is around and Bako is about to be put into the dirt. Sky Spitter comes through and he's very dead.
Yeah, so some misgivings, honestly, from Team Phantasma. The mistake from Nikolex there from Bako as well gives GL a way back in the game, and they now have a 500 goal lead. Not super significant, but definitely showing the game isn't over yet. And ultimately, this does mean that GL should be in a bit of a better position. But right now, we see the bot lane having swapped up to the top side of the map for Team Phantasma. They are really looking to prioritize this Herald. In the meantime, Jinjo is still bot lane, so I feel like you have to take this time to take as many plates as you can.
Indeed, that is going to be the port of call. See, Jinjo is staying in that bot side to do exactly that, get a hold of those plates. All the while, Nikolex has roamed over towards the Herald. They did get the early dragon off the plays that went down early. Of course, not on the scoreboard, but I promise you it's there. A bit of a spectator bug on the current patch. He's going to see a bit of contest here as Danka is around, not going to be secured. I don't think Sanity's going to come in and get that one, but everyone else from GamerLegion's around. I think we might need to see some flashes out. Peppe over the wall, though, could come over. Vaynedeta going to get flayed into hook, and he's just dead. Walked up and dies.
Not ideal, right? I feel like the fact that you have 5 members of Team Phantasma, sorry, 4 members of Team Phantasma there first, you felt like you were confident to be able to contest that, but ultimately, GL called them out of it. They're able to come in, get the hook on a Vaynedeta, and they don't get the Herald. I think that's the takeaway from the situation. It could have been a lot worse, but still not ideal. And now we can see a bit of a goal deficit opened up, because in the meantime, Jinjo's been catching up in that CS discrepancy, right? We saw a 20 CS lead for Vaynedeta, and because GL opted to keep their AD carry bot, that gap has been completely closed.
At least there will be this wave to claim when Vaynedeta turns up bot side, but Vaynedeta dying, not getting to pick up the top wave. You lose out on a lot of that advantage you came for early on, and that's not great news. As ESCIK does flash into the charm, they're going to keep hopping forward. The Ignite comes down as well, looking for that kill, but if Steel Chord lands, still broken out though, and can't quite find the solo kill. The Ignite popped, can't quite get it, and it is something you can run into the LeBlanc. Of course, you Ignite her, and you get to see her through the clone, which is always pretty nice.
Ow.
Chunk from the ace in the hole, definitely stings though.
Yeah, at least it's an ultimate, right? It's not just an E from a Volibear doing that much damage.
Okay, you're bringing that. This is going to happen all game long. Every time the Volibear E comes out, every time the Skyflitter comes out, Orc's going to be salty as hell.
It's a broken.
I needed some seasoning for my dinner, so there you go.
But I mean, I like that Peppe's continuing to apply the pressure in the mid lane. Should just be able to pick up a plate here, using that Ignite to turn trades really in favor. And ultimately, I think what you can see from Team Phantasma is some good individual play, but there are still some mistakes, and they're trying to find an angle here. Visdom won't be able to find the engage.
Yeah, not quite able to find too much more. Get the plates over though, but won't find too much more as Nikolex gets hooked. Visdom has to flash out. It is the tidal wave in response as well, but that's now a summoner and a flash down for just the basic ability. Visdom has been looking to make a lot of plays and has not actually died this game, despite some early mishaps and oversteps from the Thresh player early on in the game.
Yeah, definitely been close, but managing to survive. And ultimately, I feel like Team Phantasma got the Herald. The problem was they got it onto Sanity, and because it's on your support, GL know where it's going to turn up, right? You know it's going to be in the bot lane, so they simply had Danka's Shadow, and they're able to deny the tower take. Tower's low, don't get me wrong, but ideally, if you're committing the tower into the side lane, oh my god, he's not going to get the plate.
He's not going to get it.
And your recall stopped anyway.
Oh,
it's a lose-lose.
It's a lose.
Oh my god.
I'm quite upset.
I'm human, honestly. Oh, and now they miss out on Dragon as well. Oh, it's just the worst. It's the worst timeline.
That was 2 very different takes on British reactions. Either you're fuming or you're just the understatement of, I'm quite upset. Like, it's just very different. I appreciate that.
I'm ready to mold over these things. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Properly brewed hatred of that situation there. Either way, Peppe will get towards the mid lane, but Danka's into the jungle, trying to slow down Nikolex. Skyflitter comes down and chokes him out. That is just disgusting. That is 1 rank in the ability, by the way. Gets a huge amount of damage down onto the Jarvan. We'll get a little bit of heal with the ebb and flow. That's about it. Danka maybe going to be in trouble here, though. He throws down another Skyflitter, which will hit onto Sanity. A little less damage that time. Peppe's charm goes wide and skirmishing over this vision as ESCIK goes over the wall. Has to come right back out. Jinjo's around as well. GamerLegion do not want to give up control here.
Yeah, doing their best to try and contest here, clear out the vision, and then you see Team Phantasma just really cautious about engaging, but they might find a window here. They can both get over the wall comfortably.
Think about it. There goes Nikolex in, but won't find anybody in the river. Ebb and Flow comes out to top up the Jarvan, who's now probably healthy enough to make a play towards this bot side with that ward in the bot side brush. Kind of have an idea about where GamerLegion are. They could look for this.
Yeah, the goal's a tower, and honestly, I'm going to say, you play Caitlyn plus, I mean, in this case, Nami, normally it's a Lux. You want to be taking that bot tower early. You want to be moving around, taking more plates on the map. The fact it's still alive, even with the Herald, a little bit rough. Now, Peppe should be able to dash.
Trying to try and dash, but the flash for the stun means there's going to be a bit of turnaround, but it's a great tidal wave around and back. 4th goes Peppe to get the kill, and that will be the reset, allowing Danka here, who's got no way out, and they'll get the kills in the mid lane. Team Phantasma turn around the dive.
Yeah, really nice play coming out, and the moves from Sanity there, able to help out with the play. The extra damage enough. Well, the extra healing to keep Peppe alive and the extra damage as well. It means you get the reset on the Ahri, and suddenly this target is no longer an option. Nice little skirmish coming down, and Visdom not quite there on time. And now Jinjo knows Nikolex is there, so unlikely to go for this play, but they're basically cordoned off away from their bot lane tier 1. And finally, they have 20 seconds if they want to get it before the plate goes. We should see this tower taken down.
It's going to be close, 15 seconds, and maybe GamerLegion can try and interrupt it. They'll land the Death Sentinel, that was going wide, but instead can't quite get any more. They've got on the box as well, which is unfortunate. That Column was just not landed this game between the Jinx and the Thresh. But will get that turret and the plates before turret plating falls about 2 seconds. In the top side there in the picture-in-picture, there is a duel going on between Ornn and Gangplank. Sacre with the trial by fire. Coming out on top right now is Danka, about to roam up and do Freljordian god battles. But I think this time it will be one day to come out on top. Flash for the auto does get it. Well played from Bako to make these make a 1-for-1 in the jungle though. Vaynedeta goes down to the ethereal chains. Now ESCIK needs to make their way out. Has got a death. Oh, sorry, Dark Pass to try and get out, but going the wrong way into the waiting arms of Peppe. Goes back towards his distortion. Nikolex chunked out, and Jinjo gets that one, and somehow ESCIK's alive as well, and that makes it a 3-for-1.
But Pepe's about to get his ultimate back up just a couple of seconds away. Might look to play on the back of this. And
there's no
Bako
mana
is
either.
TP.
He can look for this.
Ooh.
There's the lands the charm. Can look to reset. This could be a triple. Jinjo stays alive, but not for much longer. The heal comes out of the passive as well. Your essence is devoured, and Ahri gets a triple kill.
Triple kill for Peppe after such a strong performance in this matchup. Able to deliver the cleanup on that fight. And just as I feel like GamerLegion are able to match blow for blow, we see Team Phantasma clean up the fight. 5-0 now on this Ahri. Really in a powerful position.
You've managed to at least find yourself a win condition here. And they're going to try their absolute best to make even more out of it. Yes, the Caitlyn hasn't come quite as ahead as you would have liked, but that Ahri being so far ahead, 9 stacks on the Dark Seal, needlessly large rod and infantry, that is great news right now. We'll go back to see this topside play, which ends up in a 1-for-1 after an extended duel.
Yeah, this was actually really greedy from Bako. He overstepped on the tower to use Demolish to get the plate, and then he gets caught in this long 1v1. With Danka coming, he knows his jungler's not there to bail him out, so his only recourse is to try and kill Sacre. Sacre just overstepped. You could have just waited for your jungler, but I guess he was concerned he would be channeling a recall or TPing away, and he ends up going down. And now in this extended play, Sanity with no mana puts them in a rough spot. The fact that they got that initial pick, but I just love the fact that they basically forced GL to walk back through the tower, and then Peppe gets the cooldown, the ultimate to clean up.
While in that picture-in-picture, yes, we'll see Peppe pull off an amazing little play here, but they have got the mid lane turret in that picture-in-picture, and then the ultimate came up, you called it out, and he managed to get all 3 members trying to retreat. And that was exactly what Team Phantasma needed to give them a little bit more hope as that play went on. Visdom going to try and time out that Flag and Dragon set, gets deleted by Peppe.
Because they're absolutely blown up, and the damage from this Ahri pretty crazy. 10 stacks on the Dark Seal. They easily turn that to a Medjai's as soon as he goes back to base, but for now, Team Phantasma are going to pick up another dragon. We unfortunately don't have dragons at the top of our screen, so...
We'll have to find the way this one is. I believe this will be...
They definitely got the first one.
First one. That will be their 3rd looking at the gap, so they are actually on Soul Point. Great news for that. Actually, I don't know. No, we're looking at it now. I think it's their 2nd. I'm guessing from space it's their 2nd.
We had this bug before where it was like the first dragon from each team was the one that was hidden. So I assume it's 2 to 1. Sorry, I can't remember. I normally rely on these tools.
We saw GamerLegion pick that one up. We're going to see a play on the top side, though. Does manage to get the double knock up there with the call before he's got trying to trade this one out, but it's still a 1 versus 2. Nothing more to be done. In comes Visdom to make it a 1 versus 3. Just not a fair fight for the Ornn, and Bako goes down again, even if it was a valiant attempt there.
Yes, GL still making some practice plays and keeping the goal lead close, but still have that massive Ahri to deal with. And yeah, I mean, I feel like one of the things with the dragons is that because it's always there, I'm just like, I don't think to remember who's taking which dragons. I have it at the top of my screen, and then when it isn't, I'm like,
What do I do?
Who did take that dragon?
It's like, do you remember that old video where it's like you're trying to cast a number of passes between a load of people, and then it just asks, yes, but did you see the dancing bear walking behind them? Very old YouTube. It's a great video.
We have one in this game as well, so we have Danka.
Exactly that. But the point is that while you're focusing on all the action happening, you can miss the stuff going on in the background a little bit, especially when some of the things you normally use to check those statements and those objectives are the track. And as it stands, still going to be that 2 to 1 Drake score as we believe it, and a slight 300 gold lead to GamerLegion as we're coming towards the 20-minute mark. Very little one.
Gold lead, yeah. Just a couple here and there. But that's the thing, is that I feel like Team Phantasma have done what they wanted around the mid lane, right? They've definitely had a successful game for Peppe, but the bot lane isn't as far ahead as you typically want. They do now have, though, Imperial Mandate and Gale Force, so if anyone does overstep, Vaynedeta can burst them out so quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the damage available to this Caitlyn is going to be pretty absurd.
And with enough damage on the Ahri as well, you don't necessarily need like full CC. You just need all the damage to land on one target before a Lantern can pull them out. Trading over on this Gronk right now, and she's gonna get the shot down! Massive kill, goodbye Dark Seal Stacks, and the Rockets come in to make it a 2 for none right now. Nikolex will have to run to the hills. A minute or so to go as Visdom goes over the wall. Can't quite bring Danker with him. Nice idea.
And, you know, it's a good pick, right? You get a massive shutdown from this Ahri. Put a golden pocket, and we suddenly went from Team Phantasma being ahead to 1,000 gold deficit.
Big one.
This is a proactivity we need to see from the side of GamerLegion, right? They have that pick potential, and they're fishing for more.
Oh, Nikolex, he's walked across so many walls. I know exactly where he is. Miss it, and now actually it could be a 2v1 because look, also says Vaynedeta. I'm going to quite be able to get in for any more, decides against using anything like a Gale Force to hop in for more. And does manage to get out of dodge. The wards, though, still remain. None of them have been cleared as yet from that red side quadrant.
And right now, I think something to mention is the fact that we're seeing a big CS discrepancy in the jungle. Bank is 2 levels up on Nikolex, right? And this is a Conqueror Goredrinker Jarvan. This is not your full tank Jarvan who you're playing just for Cataclysm. And I kind of cemented on in draft. I wasn't really happy with the Jarvan pick because, you know, you intro LeBlanc, you intro Thresh. It's hard to just press R and then be happy, be satisfied with the outcome, which is possibly why Nikolex went this build. But with the deficit, it just means he's really going to feel quite weak.
Definitely not going to be happy about it. Interesting build in for the Gangplank as well. It's not quite in Fedge second. He's got the Last Whisper and then double crit cloak to try and make himself hit as hard as he can. Alongside that, Trinity Force has been the option. Big damage back from Peppe, though. Gets the kill and the reset on that Spirit Rush over the wall again. Flashing away from the attempted pickup from ESCIK. Now needs to try and get even further away as Danker's coming forward. Does have the Stormbringer, but they won't quite be able to close the difference. It's flash for flash from the mid laners, but the pick goes the way of Peppe.
Nice pick from Peppe. And you can see in that damage, you know, despite the fact he got shut down and lost some Dark Seal stacks, does have the Rabadons in pocket. Now, Jinjo gonna be okay.
Damage there from the Goredrinker. He's gonna try and start turning this one, but there's an ebb and flow, which means Nikolex not gonna take that much lower. Aka Prison sidestepped away from, and he tried to read the step forward there, won't quite find it. ESCIK is back around, thinking about looking for something. Can't quite make it happen. And Orcs, we've got about 50 seconds until a Drake. That would be sole point for Team Phantasma. Suspect that might be the point of next conflict.
Yeah, and the Ocean Soul, pretty nice for something like the Ornn or the Jarvan, right? These bulkier frontliners can get a lot of value if they're able to survive for a long time. I will say, GL has a lot of burst, so may not really be that big of a game swing to Sacre. But you can see both teams posturing, GL in position, and really there's so many bursty tools, so much pick potential. It comes down to execution, who can land it.
Peppe nearly got the ultimate, but not quite yet. Needs to wait on it about 5 seconds, and now it's up. Ultimates available across the board, aside from the super mega death rocket, which was, of course, used to try and kill off the retreating Peppe. Big chunk onto Danker there. Half his HP disappears from a combo from the Ahri. And now, in the darkness of this river, Phantasma start up the Drake, or will be doing so. They're going to continue trying to walk in here, though.
And you're going to have to try and find an angle in. They're going to be so cautious about walking into charms or traps.
Nikolex chunked out, but Danker taken so damn low. Dragon goes down as well. Landed out. Stormbringer to stay alive. ESCIK into the backside. Gets Vaynedeta and gets out. But Bako in the backside trying to kill off ESCIK. Will still stay alive into the wolf pit, trying to time this one out. Nikolex goes in and will go golden, but surely here will now fall. Tries to get the Cataclysm and the Goredrinker active. Can't make it work. Big chunk out from Bako, but he's in a 1v3 trying to kill off the Giant, who is still alive. They get the kill back, and it's a double to Sacre. One by one, they walk in. One by one, they fall.
How is everyone in GL so low, but they don't die, man? I feel like that's so frustrating for Team Phantasma. They do get the dragon at least, but everyone on slithers of health. Oh, I mean, I guess the consolation is they can't Baron on that low HP, but man, such a frustrating fight.
Just watch them all go in to try and kill off the Jinx, who survived every single person. It's basically next contender every time.
It's such a frustrating one. I mean, especially like you see Sacre on like a sliver of HP. We saw. I mean, we'll get the replay and we can see them all come out. It just felt like GL finished their kills, and for the side of Team Phantasma, they just weren't able quite to get it. Danker first to get away on minimal HP with a Lantern and a Flash, and then Vaynedeta gets one shot here. And then a follow-up, right? Look at ESCIK, how low he is. Bako picks wrong and loses track of the LeBlanc, and then we see this re-engage come out. Jinjo gets chunked to, once again, actually no, I think Jinjo doesn't get too low off the back of this initially, but then Bako comes in and finds the kill. Very close to getting it. Once again, we see them survive, and then Sacre gets charmed here, and it's so low on HP. It just feels like this lantern in particular from Visdom saving people on such low health.
ESCIK, Danka, and Jinjo all got away with it there, courtesy of some very close differences in those health bars. Still leaves us with a gold lead that has now extended pretty heavily in GamerLegion's favor. They are down that soul point, as we said, and they've still got to be wary of this Ahri, even wary of this Caitlyn, who's got a couple items. I'm not sure the Collector necessarily the most valuable, but with how low those health bars got in that last fight, Collector could have made the difference.
Yeah, I mean, as well, like, you have an Ahri, right? The fact you're not getting the resets on the ult because everyone's surviving on slivers of HP, such a frustrating situation to be put in. And as a result, GL have that gold lead, right? And their composition holds up pretty well in the later stages with a Jinx, LeBlanc, and Gangplank. But I still think Team Phantasma are comfortable, right? The Ahri's strong. The Caitlyn is getting through a power trough, especially with the Nami buffing it up. But you have that Ornn starting to hand out ornaments. It is going to come down to the execution. And right now, Team Phantasma, you got 2 minutes on that Dragon Soul. You are comfortable just to wait for that one and try and come out ahead. The Ocean Soul definitely... Yeah, I mean, at least with the Ocean Soul, you'll be able to survive a little bit longer, because I felt like GL were the ones who were just having a bit too much HP in the last fight.
Absolutely. And then not even just that, right? Like, this is a game where if GamerLegion lose, they are out. They do not get beyond the group stage. They don't pass go. The Prime League first seed will be out in groups. And yes, it's a difficult group, but to lose to Phantasma, who could do what Atleta did yesterday, take a wing of one of these bigger ERLs, and in even more of a blue shell, knock out a potential contender for groups, as Sacre will have their barrel stopped. Now he's in a dangerous position to 1v3. Final auto come through. Collector won't quite proc. Here comes the Call of the Forge God, though, into the ace in the hole. Gets the shutdown. Now Jinjo had to get out with the Gale Force, and the rest of GamerLegion on the retreat the moment we speak about those stakes. They are in trouble. Nikolex hopping forward. The tidal wave comes forward to try and find some more, but now Bako in a 1v3 themselves will end up inside the box. Down comes the Cataclysm. ESCIK chunked out, but not too much more to find. Team Phantasma trying desperately to find more, but it's a scrappy affair. Danka will be able outside of that Everfrost, and I'm a little bit lagged out here. Gotta hope that I'm still being...
Yeah, I'm sure, to be honest, the feed unfortunately not holding up there, but Danka does end up going down. Sorry, guys, just some technical issues with the remote broadcast, but ultimately Team Phantasma able to find the advantage, able to kill the jungler, and able to move on to the Baron.
It was taken out because that was the moment, that freeze frame was where GamerLegion's hearts sank. They are about to lose Baron right now unless they can make a hold here. That's a good start. They land a death sentence, chugging up Bako. Baron down to 1900 HP. The smite comes through. They get it, but now they need to get out of dodge. Bako will be left to die. Over the wall goes ESCIK, trying to get even more. The Orb Deception, that's the name of it. Will not quite happen. Peppe survives with the passive, and now he's got a reset. Could look for even more. Ace in the hole, chunks Jinjo, but not Visdom, and they will get out in a 1-for-2 trade alongside that Baron.
You take that, right? You got the Baron, you traded it, you're down 1 kill. The problem is, Dragon is spawning, and GL are heading straight over towards it. TP's available for Bako, but I just don't think they're going to be there in time. They should be gone by the time they're on the map.
9-1 and 1 on the Ahri. Everfrost upgrade is in. Void Staff is in. They've got a 10-stack Dark Seal. This Ahri can carry the game from here. Let's have a look at this one, because my days, GamerLegion did not let this one go quietly into the night.
It's such a hard one to contest, because the Cannon Barrage just completely splits the team. But I mean, it's well played, because both Peppe and Nikolex moved to the back of the pit. They managed to get the Baron itself, and then, you know, the flash comes over from the Ahri. Peppe looks like he overstays a little bit, but gets so much damage down on ESCIK, and then this beautiful ult came up just in time to be able to dash away and not only get out of the tricky situation, but also trade a kill as well. Just really excellent from Peppe. But we do see the Dragon was secured by GL. Again, the overlay is a bit dodgy, so it's 3 Dragons for Team Phantasma, 2 for GamerLegion. Soul still not been picked up yet.
No, it has not. There is now an Infinity Edge in for Jinjo, as well as nearly a Death Cap in for ESCIK, who after a rough early game has come back in that fight. You saw how much damage he could do. Sacre was maybe being aggressed on there a little bit, but can't quite find him through the fog of war. Can Team Phantasma, but they are currently 4 members strong down here, with the Baron buff looking to shove in and secure themselves gold lead. Still behind in gold even after getting the Baron, but they've got a minute or so yet left to play with to try and get some more out of this one.
Yeah, the wave clear's there though, right? Oh, and a lot of damage coming out for the Jinx. That's the thing, right? You're into a Gangplank, you're into a Jinx, a lot of AoE explosive power to thin through the minion waves, and they're doing their best to keep this tier 2 alive. You can see Bako in the mid lane doesn't have a Baron, but is trying to push down. ESCIK is fishing, so Bako will move down to spot the LeBlanc.
Well, indeed, spots the map, and that might give a little bit more freedom for Team Phantasma to shove in. Nikolex takes a hefty chunk from Sacre's Gangplank, who is as well beginning to get to very much that mid to late game status. The damage is there as Bako as well has to charge away from the ethereal chains, and that might actually break the last of this Baron buff shove.
It's a frustrating situation to be put in, right? The front line gets chunked out, so you're not able to overstay. And the problem is, right, if you don't get anything from this Baron, you'd probably rather just have the soul.
Right.
That was the trade-off, right? Is they got the Baron, but they missed out on being able to contest the dragon for the souls. So Team Phantasma, you know, yes, they got 1,700 gold. You can see in the top right from that Baron, but that doesn't mean that much at this stage of the game.
That's basically just taking Baron. That's the gold you get from taking Baron, it feels like.
Yep.
And it has allowed 3 items in for GP, 3 items in for ESCIK, who has got the death cap now, 3 items in for Jinjo, as we said. They are all exceptionally strong. Stop the reset there, but more. And of course, you know, it's not like Team Phantasma scale poorly. They've got 3 items on their Ahri, and they've got the ornaments to work with as well. Typhoon and Infinity had just picked up before the scoreboard disappeared. They're in a position to fight this, but it wasn't a game-breaking advantage that Phantasma were hoping for. Having secured that Baron, and maybe Nikolex getting caught could be a disaster in its own right, down to the GA. Gonna try and get out here, flashes away. Now the charm comes back, the dagger gets knocked up, trying to get the kill, but he survives, and instead ESCIK picks up the trade on the other side. Bako now in a dangerous position. He sees teleported in on the flag. He gets flayed away, taken pretty low. Peppe gets a huge shot onto ESCIK, and they will get that kill over the mid lane. Danka staying alive on the other side as Vaynedeta somehow finds the jungle on the other side, having to get out, misses the zap, needs to stay alive so very, very low. Goes down, and Peppe can't do any more. It's still a 2-for-1 trade in the favor of GamerLegion, and they are now the ones in command of this top side of the map.
I feel like Pepe's doing so much trying to make this happen, but he's going to get chunked out.
He gets taken so very low indeed. Taken down to that half HP mark. Bako clears out the wave with a Bellows breath, but not too much more. And they're just tanking up the tower. Sacre does that for them. Of course, he's got oranges to clean his way back up to full HP. Apple a Day might keep the doctors away, but an orange will do the same here, apparently.
A lot of summoners burn there. Vaynedeta's flashed down, as is Nikolex's, and we see Dragon in a minute. So these summoners won't be available there.
As well.
Definitely going to be impactful to Jay as well. Massive to have lost that going into this next fight. And this fight, I'm going to be honest, it was a bit of a weird one, right? Nikolex caught out initially, and he is able to use the GA and then his flash off the back of this to create a bit of space. But I have to credit Peppe in particular here. Finds a beautiful charm on an ESCIK. But my question really is, because we saw the charm before, how did Vaynedeta end up where he is, right? Just very aggressively pushing in.
He's chasing the Volibear, and he gets caught out by the flame chompers.
I just feel like that wasn't the play. That wasn't the play.
Oh, I can see the angle, like trying to get in to get that collector shut down, but of course, unfortunately for him,
Dopium rush.
I know, but tell you what it was. The Sky Splitter shield prevented it coming through.
Yeah, broken. You know, we started the game saying how broken this ability was. We finished the game talking about how broken this ability was, but right now, goalie for GL, but it is Dragon Soul potentially for Team Phantasma, giving out another ornament.
Indeed,
this
the Imperial
could be
Mandate upgraded. Now we are at this final battle. It feels like soul point for Team Phantasma. A game which has been so close throughout it. It's still a lead to GamerLegion, it feels like right now, but it's been very close. ESCIK chunked out to 2/3. Sacre on the flank, though, could look for a good barrel. That's a cannon barrage that zones him away from the dragon. In comes the call of the Forge God, though. Nikolex takes a barrel to the face as well. Knock up on a tanker. They're going to try and get in. The dragon's secured, though, but it will come and try to the jungler's life. Visdom chunked out, but not dead as yet. On the other side, ESCIK chunks out the Forge God as well. Peppe over the wall. Jinjo solo flashes away from the charm, but it's a stopwatch in response from Peppe, who has to flash away. Trying to go forward, but a stopwatch in trade for Jinjo, but the auto will make it a 1-for-1 as ESCIK claims the AD carries life as well, 2-for-2, but the dragon goes the way of GamerLegion. Now we're both at soul point.
Dragon secured by GL, so that's what they wanted out of the situation, but it was down to the wire. The fight looking like it'd be so close. Ultimately, Team Phantasma Gonna be able to take this mid tower and move towards the Baron, but with no AD carry, won't be able to take it off the card. They are denied once again. Oh,
Gonna get Sanity so down low. Be flashing away for the charm. Now ESCIK did so much damage that Ignite is going to be damn close, but it won't be quite enough, I think. Not quite there. Peppe hunting around to see whether there's another angle. Full goes over the wall, gets Jinjo! Peppe, guess what? He can keep going. He's got that one final launch, goes in, but it's away for ESCIK towards that distortion. Now Dan goes around, and Peppe has overstepped. He's baited, outsmarted, and the smoke and mirrors of the LeBlanc allows a shutdown to come through.
And once again, it comes back to the Sky Splitter to deliver the kill onto the Ahri. And with the Ahri down, I'm not sure you can go for this Baron. You have the numbers advantage, but
Vaynedeta's around. Scared. They're teleporting in as well. They're going to try and get... Oh, my days. That barrel into the cannon. Barrage chunking them out. Stormbringer over the wall. And that is a Tempest. A Typhoon will not allow you to escape from. They get the kill, and now the Baron is surely there.
Oh, my Lord,
over the wall. Gets Nikolex as well. He's dead to rights.
And when Peppe falls, it feels like Team Phantasma falls around him. Jail getting those picks should lead to them securing this Baron. Not much to be done in competition. It feels like at such a close game, Team Phantasma started to slip.
And you saw Peppe felt they needed to get the pick back, and I honestly thought we had Jinjo and ESCIK in that mid lane play. He gets one, he dies on the back of it, and then the continued shove in from GamerLegion to pounce on that opportunity. So necessary.
And you know what? I've got to praise ESCIK, who has had a pretty rough laning phase all today in both games, but really bounced back when it came to being outside of the laning phase, right? In these team fights, in these skirmishes, gets the kill there, and then we see Peppe rightfully thinking this should be an easy double, gets a quick kill onto the Jinx, and then going for the reset, but the perfect timing on the distortion before he's targeted by the orbs coming out from the ultimate means he takes no more damage and is able to clean up the kill and get a nice shutdown for himself.
The last time that happened, the orbs followed him around the Baron. They got it, and Pepe's going to find a lot of people. He's going over the wall. One more should allow him to get out, and he gets away with it. But that was very close. Spirit rush of blood to the head there, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, I would think so too. Not sure what the game plan was, being in that position, potentially fishing for a pick. But with ult down from the Ahri, with Baron push coming in from GL, this does make things a bit tricky.
The Caitlyn defensive line comes up. Traps are down and out. Of course, at this late stage in the game, the Caitlyn traps will chunk out whoever dares step onto them. ESCIK is shoving on the other side, and he is a definite threat with the Elixir of Sorcery. That's what it was called. It took me a second there to get even more damage. Bako trying to clear it up.
Oh my lord.
He does get charged. He's going to get chunked out. He's about to fall. No, the Stormbringer gets him out to safety again. How many times have we seen that this game? The hook onto Nikolex. He goes over, gets a cataclysm, but he's so deep. What's he going to get out of it? Aside from that GA, has he bought enough time? So many low health bars, but they make it a 1-for-1 right now. Jinjo is dead. Bako gets a knock-up. Peppe lands another charm. Vaynedeta gets Visdom, and it's a 2-for-1. The GA comes at a healthy price. ESCIK will not secure a kill onto the Nami. He's still hunting.
You can see, even though Team Phantasma started to get the health bars low, they were so afraid of the Gangplank. Sacre is fully online right now, nearly full build. And every time they see someone get low, Team Phantasma asks, wait, could a barrel combo be ready to hit me? That slowed the approach, but it was still Team Phantasma coming out ahead in that one. And now we have 40 seconds onto that dragon. This is Soul. One of the teams are going to get it, and likely if the fight is won by enough of a margin, they will just close out the game afterwards.
Stakes for this game will come to them after this replay. And Danker gets caught here, and I thought he was dead, but once again, he survives on no HP.
Yeah, and Nikolex, you know what? I respect the play. Is it correct? Probably not, but he goes for the deepest cataclysm I have ever seen. And they have the Ornn Horn and the Nami wave to follow up, and everyone gets chunked, but see how Peppe is so cautious to approach. Only when Sacre gets CC does he dare step forwards, and then he doesn't want to chase into another barrel. Constantly has to be aware of the threat, because it will just one-shot. And now we're onto that final dragon to secure the soul. This could be the game.
Gods and mortals alike coming to compete in this apocalypse. A cataclysm from Nikolex available. The cannon barrage comes out as own Team Phantasma away. It chunks him straight out Bako into the pit. Does again a call of the force, but it doesn't really land on too many people. Out, but it's into the cannon barrage. He's gone. He's dead to rights. The collector secures him. Peppe hops forward, misses the charm though, and with the spirit rush down, he's in so much trouble. Soul is secured, and Team Phantasma have to give it up. and now they're in a bad position as well as GamerLegion looking to stop the resets and secure an easy road in. ESCIK over the wall, onto Vaynedeta, forced to flash out of the AD carry.
Not quite enough to kill, but GL get what they want. They got their soul, they took out Bako, and now they're going to try and push into the base. The extra sustain coming in makes it even harder to chunk someone out.
Banshee's Veil onto this LeBlanc as well. So hard to get rid of it. They could try and end it. Indeed, they can. They've got rid of the Ornn. That's a big one. They have got the advantage. They are shoving in. They want to look and do it with the soul, with the damage available. One Nexus turret about to fall. A chunk on the Vaynedeta, the back end of it all. Stormbringer to shut the turret down. Danker does fall though. Maybe they've got too deep. It's into the backside goes Nikolex, but he dies in traders to jungler. For jungler trade, and they can't quite finish it. They do critical damage to the base, but an Nexus turret still funds, and they need to get out of here as Peppe, with the ultimate available, will not use it. And instead they hold on. It's not quite the end of the game, and by their fingernails, by the skin of their teeth, by whatever other metaphor you care to use, Team Phantasma are still in this game.
They refuse to let go, unable to continue in the tournament, but absolutely resolute when it comes to continuing this game. GamerLegion aren't able to end there, even though they do substantial damage to the base, and now looking to push into the top lane. Chick is fishing, but might be caught. Oh, it's Peppe!
Ooh, does get Peppe. Does go golden to turn it around, but now he needs to get out of it. A tidal wave! Still not enough as the barrel claims the mid laner's life. Nikolex is still dead from the earlier plays, and 50 seconds on the superstar. The man who has carried you so deep into this game could be all they need. They've got to do it in another 4 versus 5. They've got every inhib, or 2 inhibitors down, and to give the back end. Gets choked out, but gets Vaynedeta. The Caitlyn is dead. They can't get any more kills. Sanity, Bako, Nikolex. There's no damage here. They can't do anything more. The Nexus exposed, and GamerLegion were pushed to the edge of reason, but they will not go over. Sanity was not enough, and GamerLegion's hopes of getting out of this group remain alive.
By such a slim margin, they managed to keep their hopes alive. That would have been it. They lost that one, but they were able to deliver in the end, and it was such a back and forth game. I just want to say, we can talk extensively about GamerLegion, but Peppe, what a one-man army in this game to keep their hopes alive, constantly finding these picks, the poke, the resets to keep things in their favor, but it wasn't quite enough.
Just
GamerLegion, first seed from the Prime League. Not exactly the manner we'd expect, but they keep the road towards knockouts going.
But my days, did they make it an exciting one. That one felt like it was more out of a TV show, a movie, because that was not a script I was expecting right there. Wow. That Ahri
That's a lot of game. That's a lot of League of Legends.
That was fantastic stuff.
I feel like there's more than we bargained for coming in this one.
I was not expecting that in any way, shape, or form. Alas, I think we may have to think about cutting to a break soon, as we'll have to say goodbye. Myself, I'm still initialized. That was Orcs. We need to catch our breath, but fortunately, there are more people.
I need my heart checked, honestly.
Right, of course, after this break, it's going to be another absolute heart stopper, though, because it's Karmine Core versus X7. All eyes on this game.
What a banger!
After this one as well. Don't go anywhere. You can't miss it.